If I could go back 25 years and start my garden all over again, I'd do a whole lot of things differently. Not because things went horribly wrong, and not because gardening is so hard, but I'd do it because I would save time, money, and frankly, a lot of frustration. Now, many beginner gardeners are making the same mistakes, and even some old gardeners are making a lot of mistakes. People that have been gardening for 20, 30 years are doing the same thing wrong. So in this video, I want to show you what I would do if I started from scratch. That way you won't make the same mistakes that I did. So the first mistake that I made is I got too excited and I wanted to plant everything. Tomatoes, peppers, cucumbers, squash, watermelon, zucchini, cucumbers, everything that I had heard of and everything that I hadn't heard of. I wanted to plant everything, and 10 of them. It was too much. Now I know we've all seen how crazy the grocery store prices are, and we want to plant some vegetables, but sometimes bigger is not necessarily better, and I want you to plant some vegetables. A bigger garden needs more watering, more attention, more consistency, and if you make a mistake when taking care of your garden, especially a big garden, it can get out of hand pretty quickly. And one thing to consider is that a small, well-managed garden can outperform a big, neglected garden. If I were starting a garden today, I'd start with 5 to maybe 7 different type of plants. Let's say tomatoes. Why tomatoes? Tomatoes are one of the most popular gardening vegetables that people grow. And you can grow cherry tomatoes and a large slice of tomatoes. Maybe 1 or 2 plants each. Cucumbers. Cucumbers are on almost everybody's list. Zucchini, squash, peppers, maybe 2 or 3 different varieties of each plant. Like with peppers, maybe do 1 large bell pepper and 1 smaller spicy pepper. Something else that would be great to grow are beans. Maybe do pole beans or smaller bush beans. You can put them in pots, they're easier to manage, and they take up less space. Tell me in the comments what vegetables you plan on planting. As far as not starting off too big, most people will stop right there. But that's only the beginning where things can start to go wrong. And one thing that I neglected to pay attention to is soil. I was thinking, hey, it's dirt. Everything grows in dirt. But soil is everything. Notice it said soil, not dirt, because soil helps, well, soil has an ecosystem to it. It helps promote plant life and growth. Dirt doesn't have anything in it that's going to help a plant grow. In fact, the only thing you can use dirt for is maybe putting a building on top of it. If your soil is impacted, low in nutrients, and not well draining, no matter what you do, your garden's going to struggle. If I could go back, I'd work on improving my soil from day one. I'd add compost, check the texture of it, make sure it was well draining, and make sure it was good for producing good plants. Because once you get your soil right, everything else gets easier. Now that's a big one, but if you get this next one wrong, everything could just fall apart. Timing is something else that tripped me up. I planted too early and watched my plant freeze on late frost. I planted too late and I watched them struggle in the summer heat. And if you've noticed, the last couple weeks, the weather has been completely out of whack. One day it's 80 degrees, 2 days later it's 30 degrees. I've even watched experienced gardeners plant plants too soon and have a freeze come in and have them all die. My understanding now is not just about what you plant, but when you plant it. If I started all over again, I'd learn my frost dates. Frost dates are your average last frost of spring and your average last or first frost date of fall. And I plan around my frost date instead of just planting when I felt like it because I thought we were having an early spring and have all my plants die. And that was a tough lesson. But the next one is where many gardeners think they're doing the right thing, but they're actually hurting their garden. Watering is a big issue for many gardeners. I know this may surprise you because you might think that I'm talking about underwatering. No, I used to think that if I watered my plants more, they would do better, but in fact I was hurting them. Overwatering can suffocate roots, lead to disease, and lead to poor growth. Poor watering, specifically overwatering, is considered one of the top reasons why beginners kill plants. So don't just water your plants. Do the finger test. Stick your finger down 1 to 2 knuckles down into the soil. If your finger comes up wet and some of the soil sticking to it, then you probably don't need to water. Wait a day or two and check again. But don't just water because you think it's time to water. The balance between overwatering and underwatering and watering properly makes a big difference. Now that's important, but it's not the most interesting thing about why plants struggle. Light is one of those things that you really don't appreciate until you see the effects of it on your plants. I've had young seedlings stretch, lean, and look like they're in poor health, all because they didn't have enough light. I wish I had someone tell me years ago to never, ever, ever rely on light from a window to help your plants grow. Instead, I would have gone straight to grow lights. Hey folks, since you're still watching, I really appreciate it. And if you're finding value in this video, do me a favor, share it out to your family, friends, and members of the YouTube garden community, like you would a good harvest. And while you're at it, plant a seed and hit that like button. It really helps this great gardening community grow. Harvest season is really important to me, but what we're growing here is even more important. So if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button and hit that notification bell. That way you'll be here next time I have something going on in the garden. One thing about gardening is that it teaches patience. Seeds take time to grow. Plants take time to produce food. Early on, I expected results too quickly, and that led to a lot of frustration. If I were starting again, I remind myself that gardening takes time and patience. Stay consistent, trust the process, and let the garden do its thing. 25 years ago, I wish I'd been more active when I saw pest problems. Sometimes I just really didn't worry about it because I was growing a lot of food. But, if you don't get ahead of it, they can take over all of your plants. Now I check plants regularly. So if I find an issue, like a bug, I take a picture of it or describe it and put that in Google and figure out what it is and how I need to handle that issue. And that makes a huge difference because healthy plants are easier to protect than plants that are struggling. But here's another mistake that looks helpful on the surface, but it really isn't. Too much fertilizer can actually hurt your plants. If I could go back to the beginning, I learned about those numbers on the fertilizer bag. Those 333s, the 555s, the 610 If you put an 1100 on your tomato plants, you will end up with lots of leaves, but not too many tomatoes. If I were starting over again, I focus on feeding the soil, not the plants. The soil, the microbiome in there is going to take care of feeding your plants. So I use fertilizer more intentionally, and that's something many gardeners overlook. But this next one completely changed how I garden today. Early on, I rarely planted seeds, but I soon realized that buying plants adds up. Early on, I rarely planted seeds, but I soon realized that buying those plants for $4.99 each or $5.99 each, that really adds up. And you're limiting the availability of what you're going to plant. Learning to plant from seed changed everything for me. I had so many more varieties of tomatoes, peppers, 3 different types of kohlrabi, a plant I hadn't even heard of before, but I never saw it in the seed packets in the big box stores. So planting from seed saves you money, gives you more variety, and lets you control everything from the very beginning. So if I could go back, I wouldn't necessarily plant everything from seed because some seeds are more difficult than others. But I would definitely plant squash, zucchini, cucumbers, maybe a sugar baby watermelon, beans, peas, things like that. They're so easy to grow directly into the ground. No special sauce, just plant them, give them some fertilizer, water them, and in general, you're good to go. Starting from easy seeds builds confidence in growing more difficult seeds. Now, I could give you a lesson on that, but I already have it recorded. I'll have it down in the description, and I might have it as an end screen here or here. And this next one might be the biggest one. I overcomplicated things. I tried too many techniques, watched too many videos on too many different methods, or as the younger generation will say, I was doing too much. If I was starting all over again, I keep it simple. If I was starting again, I keep it simple. Good soil, proper watering, and correct timing. Master the basics, everything else builds on that. Now I'd love to hear from you. What's the one big gardening mistake that you've made that you've learned from? Drop it in the comments. That might help someone else. If I was starting all over, I wouldn't try to be perfect. I just focus on getting a few things right and build on that. Because gardening isn't about avoiding every mistake. It's about learning and building and getting better season after season. I would also pay better attention to where I place my garden to make sure that it got full sun. Now, full sun is a term that a lot of people use, but what is it? Full sun is considered at least 6 to 8 hours of sunlight, direct sunlight, not partial sunlight, but direct sunlight. I'm still suffering from a mistake I made when I first put my garden in. I have a wooden privacy fence on one side, and my neighbor's tree, that one right there. Okay, I'm pointing here. Right there. That tree. That's great camera work, isn't it? That tree is, as you can see, right next to my privacy fence. So because of the fence and my neighbor's tree, my part of my garden is shaded out for too long of the day. So part of my garden is under partial sun, which is, 5.5, 4 hours, sometimes even a little less. So my full sun plants they aren't going to do well in that area. So only real advice I can give you here is pick the location of your garden wisely. Now, some people have decks, or they have grow bags, or they have pots they're putting their things in. They don't have to worry about it as much because they can move their things around. But if your garden is in ground, yeah, you need to pick that spot wisely. Now, once you get the light issue fixed, things do improve pretty quickly. But that's where many gardeners undo all that progress by doing this one thing. Another mistake I made early on is crowding plants, trying to put too many plants in a small space. My logic was more plants, more food. But what happens is quite the opposite, because your plants compete for nutrition. They can suffer from airflow issues, which can lead to disease. If I could do it all over again, I'd give my plants all the space they need, because one healthy plant can outproduce 2 plants that are crowded together. Start small, stay consistent, and most importantly, keep planting. Now let's get in the garden and get a little dirty. Yeah.